It's September 1st and my husband's birthday, so we're gonna see how many words I get. And I'm hoping to have most of my words or even the live stream on Kate Kavanaugh's channel at 11 Eastern a.m. But my son also has a doctor's appointment today, so we're gonna see how this works out. Wish me luck. So my first struggle being a mom and trying to do Milwordy is that I have 774 words written now at this time, but I have to stop, as my son knows, because he's already coming towards me. I have to stop and take him to pre-K. Yeah. Yes, you want my phone. So I will start back after I drop him off at pre-K, and hopefully I can finish my word goal before I have to pick him up from pre-K. Puppies. Oh, there they are. I'm sorry. Did I bother you by coming home? Okay, so we haven't finished the live stream yet, but I'm at 1,009 words. I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm also not crying after dropping my son off anymore. So right now, I realize I'm hungry. I need some self-care, and I think the number one thing that Milwordy should teach anybody is to know your limits. And yes, it is good to strengthen your limits and push them, expand them. Don't stand outside your comfort zone, but expand your comfort zone so there is more things you are comfortable with. But as I do this, I realize the main point is I need to eat. Oh, my story that I'm writing right now. So I started with my short stories. For anybody who doesn't know, my short story compilation right now is inspired by the those YouTube videos of like Faith in Humanity Restored, because I love those videos. I totally shed a tear every time I watch them. Oh, especially when they save animals. That's so heartbreaking. Or like a kid is hanging out of a building and, you know, someone scales the wall to save them or catches them as they fall, you know, and it's so amazing when humankind joins together, especially like overturned vehicles and like all these pedestrians come together to flip the vehicle upright. I mean, I love those things. And so I kind of wanted to write a story, multiple stories inspired by that. Every character in my short stories is connected. They end up running into each other. They're not related or anything, but they end up running into each other in the story. So I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm gonna eat, and hopefully I can eat before the next sprint so I can get some more words in and have these words done before my son is done in pre-K. All right, here to pick up the boy from preschool. I'm doing better than when I left. When I left the house, I was at 2,082 words, if I remember correctly. So fingers crossed that I can get the last 720-ish to reach my goal of 2,800 for today. So I think there's a chance. Okay, I can't wait to see him. All right. Catch y'all later. So it is September 2nd. Yesterday I got like 10,800 words, and I have to admit, yes, it's technically a 10K day, but it doesn't feel like it because almost over half those words were editing or critiquing. So it was a lot of I would call it focused reading, because I'm reading words, not writing them, but I'm reading words critically, trying to see if I need to change it. My son's in my lap because he's having a day already, and it's just started. And I am sitting in front of my work computers. It's almost 8 o'clock. It is lunchtime. I need to eat, which means I'm on break. Otherwise, I would not do this. But work, God, I hate this. But now I don't have eyebrows, but whatever. But work words is gonna be a lot. I'm excited that I included work on this, and I'm not including everything. I did shoot some emails today that are not counted in my word count, but I am writing a paragraph that is going to be put in a strategy plan thing. I got to send an email to a higher up, which means I'm going to proofread it and make sure that I'm speaking, writing, typing correctly. I got another document that I have to review, and because I'm reviewing it, making sure things are all squared away, I'm going to count that as well, the specific areas that I'm reviewing, because I don't review the whole thing, but specific paragraphs. I'll count that towards my words, and things are going good, and I gotta make this a 30-minute lunch because I got a lot of work to do. So if you're following me on Instagram, you're getting daily updates throughout all this. But I can tell you right now, even though I set the rules before I started, I'm kind of feeling guilty for how much reading critically words I'm getting. Because if you remove those, I'm on day 2 now, if you remove those, that's 13,000 words, leaving only like 7,000 words of actual writing that I've done in 2 days, which is still in the positive. But here's the thing, the critical reading that I'm doing, I do a big rush on Tuesdays and Wednesdays with that, because that's when the website I follow renews. But after that, I don't touch it again for the rest of the week. So the rest of my words for the week kind of aren't as strong. We'll see how work picks up, but I could see dropping reading critically from it. But at the same time, I'm still being critical of what I'm reading. I'm thinking about how can this be better. So I think it still should count. I mean, that was my thought process before too. I don't know. Either way, day 2 and I'm at 20,000, and I'm gonna be going away this weekend, so I just plan to read for fun, not critically, during that time anyways. So I'm trying to cover myself so I don't fall behind. But we'll see. Either way, I still don't feel like I've reached a 10K day because it wasn't strictly writing words in a day. Alright, we're on day 3. This isn't technically my last day of writing for this week because I'm going out of town. So, and since I already met my goal for the week, anything right now is just like a nice bonus. My son's watching off in the background. He's got daycare this afternoon, so no nap, which makes him fall asleep in like 5 minutes at night. But yeah, I'm excited for the day and for work and getting through this. So, it's almost time to start work. Okay, here's the unflattering angle part of the video. Because I realize my son keeps poking his head, but you don't get to see the little puppers. There's Stitch, and there's Lilo, and her tail's going crazy and hitting me now. Yeah, figured I could use this time to talk about Milwordy. I say this like it's definitive, but it's kind of giving me a routine a little bit more. And I've realized I am going back to my nomad writer days, where I work from like 7:30 to 5, it feels like. It's probably more like 4:30. Take an hour lunch and stuff. During lunch, I'll read, critique other people's work, because that's something I can do on my phone and everything. Then afterwards, I will, after work, whether I got words or not, I will jump on my laptop and I will write or read other people's critiques to my work. If you follow me on Instagram, my post of my totals don't get posted until like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and that's because after I get off work, I'm doing something, whether it's reading critically, writing a critique, or reading other people's critiques, maybe even editing my work or writing organically. I'm doing that until about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, this is fun. So I got 0 words for work today. Not because I didn't do any work, but because it's just it's how it played out. Since I'm so judgy with work words. I mean, because I sent a bunch of emails, but nothing seemed like important enough to me to seem worth to count. Yeah, maybe I'm getting stingy or anything. But like I said, if I don't proofread it, what's the point, like, for counting it? It's when I have this mindset of meaningful effort and thinking critically of the words that I'm putting down. So either way, I was able to read 1 story since work's been over, and that story was 2,983 words. That was a chapter, actually. And out of those words, I wrote a critique on it that equal to 444 words, so which gives me a total for today at 3,427. Right now, I gotta go around and clean the house. It kind of sucks. As you can see, I'm breaking out. This is no makeup me. I might have makeup in the future. Who knows? Oh, God, I'm in my 30s and I'm still dealing with acne. Either way, back to the point. My husband and I, we like to have a clean house. So I'm going to go clean the bathrooms. He's got the kitchen. And then the last thing we'll have to tackle is the living room and the playroom. And honestly, they're about equal on the mess because of one little boy. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to listen to an audiobook while I clean. So I just wanted to be noted because I think you've seen how dirty this can be. I want it to be noted for how clean it can be. Really, Stitch? Stitch. Yeah, you. But yes, it can be clean. So at this point, you might be wondering why you don't see me do live streams. It's because I use my phone for my live streams, or live streams that I'm on, because the quality is a little bit better than my computer. So because of that, I just wanted to let y'all know that I do live streams. I just won't ever be able to video it because it's on my phone. With that, just had a live stream coffee, witching hour coffee, for me it was tea, with Sako Tumi, also known as Casvoit, and was wonderful, and I realized I'm a lot more spiritual than I thought I was. So for Milwordy, I'm at like 23,000. I only did like 3,000 words yesterday. I do plan to, however, read while I'm gone. So I wanted to finish reading this, but as you can tell where my bookmark is, I got a little bit more to read, like 100 pages. When that is done, I did get this space opera called The God Queen by M.L. Tishner. I started following her on Instagram. And it seems interesting. And considering my story's contemporary, I'm reading the Stephen King memoir, which is more contemporary, technically, even though it's also his advice on writing. I decided, I was like, let's break it up. I'm going to do a fantasy. I might take Save the Cat with me as well, because I've been meaning to read that, especially before I start book 2 in my series. So we're going to see where that goes. But yeah, I'm set for my trip. Well, almost. I got to go finish packing. Okay, so here is the summary of my entire week. As you can see, I have 30,000 for the week right now, and I'm still unsure, but I've been over this. I'm gonna count my reading critically words, even though that brings me at like 22,000, which leaves me like 7,000 words written, which the written words are divided between editing and actual writing. Either way. So I'm at 33,000, and as you can see in the right hand corner over here, I got the writing, outlining, reading, editing, and so I do have it broken down
but I think what I'm going to do is count everything, but decide whether it counts as a whole towards Milwordy at the end. We'll go with that. So now let's jump over into September. Got to scroll up here so you can see. And that's been the breakdown pretty much. From the first day, I actually had to add a 5th column to count for the extra work I did on day 1. But all these other columns, I got my reading, I got my critiquing on what I read when I'm reading critically and such, and then I have my totals. So it's been pretty good. I'm really haven't changed much on this spreadsheet, and I plan to continue to use it in its all beautiful powers. Hopefully I won't be skipping any more days in the future, unless I need it for mental health days. I understand that. Regarding the totals here, even if you take out the reading, I'm not even close to the 500,000 mark. So let's jump over to my grand total page here so we can look at the beautiful graphs that I worked so hard on. Yeah, there's the 500,000 mark. So at the bottom here, I have it broken down where I can see where my words are divided up by project. And I kind of like this, and I almost want to not count reading just so I can see what the true writing setup is. Since, let's face it, the whole goal is 1 million written words in a year. And I'm not quite there yet. But I figured if some people are counting editing of their own work, and I'm counting editing of my work, why can't I not count editing other people's work? Because you're reading critically of the words you're reading, of how it can be better. So either way, sorry, I've got to get off that soapbox. All right, I'm not going to mention that in any future videos, I promise. Over here on the right side, I already talked about my breakdown of the writing, all writing, that includes the critiques, free writing, the writing of actual stories and such like that, outlining, reading critically, and editing, because editing, I think it's its own little setup. And I get to see how it's divided up there, where my words are divided. And I think this is going to be my new favorite graph, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be focusing on that top row called writing. I might include editing because I'm editing the words I'm writing, and that kind of counts, especially because I'm an underwriter and I'll go over. Start out at 3,000, all of a sudden end up at 3,200, but either way, yeah, I'm excited for what's to come, and I hope to hear how everyone else is doing with Milwordy. And please call me out if you think that I should count reading or not, because this is like my #1 turmoil right now, and I need some insight. Doesn't mean I'm going to go with your insight, but I need some other insight. Well, week 1's over. Here's to week 2. Please like the video if you definitely want to keep following my progress. Subscribe if you want to follow the process. This is just week 1. I got 51 more weeks to go on Milwordy. And also comment down below if you're doing Milwordy. How are you tracking your stuff? Are you including reading critically, as I'm calling it, which is pretty much critiquing other people's work? Do you think I should include it? It might not change my mind, but I'm so interested to see what people have to say. So let's keep this going.